Welcome to the Deep Dive from Beacon English Podcast, the place where we give you the shortcut to being well-informed.
Hi there.
Today, we're tackling something everyone deals with pretty much daily, money.
Yep. Spending it, saving it, talking about it, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And while it involves numbers, talking about money effectively, well, that needs certain words, certain ideas.
That's right. It's really a communication skill, isn't it? Not just math.
So this deep dive, we're pulling together insights from communication experts, people who really focus on making these finance topics clear.
We want to give you the core language, the structures you need to feel confident, whether you're, shopping abroad, making plans, or just figuring things out.
Our goal really is to get you past just saying numbers. We want you to understand the concepts, the expressions, so you feel, well, comfortable and in control when money comes up.
Moving from just transactions to genuine confidence. That's the aim.
Okay, so let's get into it. The basics first. The essential words for transactions and value.
Yeah, because this is often where English learners stumble, right? It's not just counting. It's the action words, the descriptions around the numbers.
And you need these constantly. Buying food, paying rent, bus fare. It's unavoidable everyday stuff.
Absolutely. These aren't niche terms. They're high frequency and sometimes, high stakes if you get them wrong.
So let's nail down the fundamentals. First big one, physical money versus digital ways to pay.
Right. Cash versus card. Seems simple, but the distinction is key.
Cash meaning?
Just the physical stuff. The coins in your pocket, the paper bills in your wallet.
So if you say, I don't have cash, it means specifically no paper money or coins.
Exactly. Whereas I'll pay by card, well, that covers your plastic, your phone, tap, anything electronic.
And knowing which one a place accepts is crucial sometimes. Card only or cash only signs are pretty common now.
Increasingly so, yeah. That clear binary distinction, it matters right away in the transaction.
Okay, next pair. These often get mixed up, but there's a subtle, important difference. Price versus cost.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. They seem similar, but knowing the nuance adds real precision when you're talking about money.
So price is what? The number on the tag?
Pretty much. It's the stated amount, usually fixed, that you pay right now to buy something. The price is $5. Simple, direct.
Got it. But cost? That's broader.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Cost often implies the total expenditure. It might include things beyond the initial price tag.
No.
Well, think about a phone. The price is what you pay up front. But the cost over time might include your monthly plan, insurance, maybe repairs down the line.
Okay. So how much does it cost? Could be asking about more than just the initial purchase price.
Exactly. It digs a bit deeper. And this distinction is vital when you think long term.
You mentioned something earlier, opportunity cost.
Right. That fits under cost.
Yeah.
If you pay a high price for, say, a fancy gadget today, the cost isn't just the money spent, it's also the opportunity you gave up. Maybe a trip you could have taken or savings you could have built.
That really makes you think differently about spending, doesn't it? It's not just about the number, but what that number represents in terms of other choices.
Precisely. It helps you think smarter, not just speak more accurately.
Okay, moving on. Describing value. The big two adjectives. Cheap and expensive.
The absolute basics for saying what you think something is worth relative to other things.
So cheap means?
Usually means a lower price. Maybe it's a good deal. Sometimes, though, it might imply lower quality. Depends on the context. This shirt is cheap.
And expensive is the opposite. High price. Maybe a luxury item or just something that feels like a big chunk of money for you. That phone is expensive.
Right. And the key thing here, as you said, is relative. What's expensive for one person might be perfectly normal for someone else.
So mastering these helps you express your personal view on value quickly.
Exactly. It's about your reality.
All right, last one for this basic lexicon section, the crucial action word, save.
Yes, save. This isn't just not spending. It's more active than that.
How so?
Saving implies intention. It's a conscious decision to put money aside, usually for a specific future purpose. It's about managing your resources.
So, I want to save money isn't just wishing.
No, it's stating a goal, an intent to act. Without that verb, that concept, financial planning doesn't really exist. It turns money from just flowing through your hands into something you actively manage.
Okay, so for you listening, the idea is to start using these right away.
Definitely. Look around you now. That coffee cup, did you pay cash or card? Does it feel cheap or expensive to you? Are you trying to save for anything?
Making that immediate connection makes the words stick, right? Turns them into tools you can actually use.
Exactly. Functional knowledge, not just a list to memorize.
Perfect. So once we have the words to describe transactions and value, the next step is using language to talk about our habits, our money behaviors.
Which leads us right into Section 2, articulating financial habits and goals. This is where language meets self-awareness.
And sometimes that means being honest about maybe not so great habits.
Often, yes. The most common phrase structure we see for admitting you're spending maybe a bit too much is, I spend too much on.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone can fill in that blank. The sources mentioned common ones.
The classics. Coffee, snacks, clothes, maybe online games or subscriptions, things that add up without you always noticing.
And just saying it out loud, like, I spend too much on coffee. That actually helps.
It really does. You're connecting the language, the English phrase, directly to a real behavior you can measure. It brings it out of the shadows.
It stops being this vague feeling of where did my money go and becomes a specific thing you've named.
Precisely. Psychologically, naming it is the first step to controlling it. If you say, I spend too much on takeout, boom, you've identified something you could potentially change.
Okay, so that's acknowledging the spending side. What about the flip side, setting positive goals?
That's where we talk about saving goals. We need language that looks forward, that defines our financial intentions.
And the phrase structure here shifts, right?
Yeah, it moves from the past or present action of spending to the future intention of saving. The key phrase is, I'm trying to save for.
That makes the act of saving feel less abstract, more concrete.
Totally. The examples were great. I'm trying to save for a new phone, or I'm trying to save for a trip. It gives the saving a why.
A motivation. You're not just holding back money for no reason. You're doing it for a specific reward you want.
Exactly. And it helps categorize savings too, doesn't it? Short-term goals like the phone, maybe longer-term ones like the trip, or even buying a house someday.
So you've identified where you're overspending and you've defined what you want to save for. What bridges that gap? How do you talk about making the change?
That's the language of resolution and control. This is where you state your intention to act differently.
Like making a promise to yourself almost.
Kind of, yeah. Using clear, strong statements like, I need to stop spending so much money. Simple, direct.
Or maybe combining both sides.
Even better, I want to buy less and save more. It acknowledges both the reduction in spending and the increase in saving. These aren't just complaints, they're like personal commitments.
And the sources really emphasize that saying these sentences is part of the process.
Absolutely. It's not just English practice. Saying it out loud forces that self-reflection. It literally helps you think smarter about your money, as the material put it.
The language itself becomes a tool for managing yourself. You can't just vaguely save more.
Right. You need that structure. I'm trying to save for X, so I need to stop spending so much on Y. That clarity. Well, it's the foundation for actual planning.
Which brings us neatly to Section 3, budgeting as a financial plan.
The B word.
Budget.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds intimidating, but if we break it down, what is a budget really at its core?
In the simplest terms, it's just a plan for your money. That's it.
Okay, a plan that shows.
What?
It shows what money comes in and where that money goes out. It makes those habits and goals we just talked about visible, trackable, numbers on a page or a screen.
Giving you visibility, control, hopefully.
That's the idea. And the sources highlighted that even a simple budget relies on 3 pillars. 3 essential parts you need to track.
Pillar number 1.
Income, all the money you get. Your paycheck, any side jobs, maybe gifts, everything coming in.
And you need a specific number for this, right? Not just I earn okay.
Definitely. You need to quantify it. My income is $1,000 a month or whatever your actual number is. That's your starting point. Everything else flows from that.
Okay, pillar 2, money going out.
Expenses. But, and this is important, expenses aren't all the same. We need to break them down further.
How so?
Into fixed and variable expenses. This distinction often gets overlooked, but it's crucial for planning.
Right. Fixed expenses are?
The predictable ones. Things that cost about the same each month. Your rent, maybe a loan payment, certain subscriptions. They're usually non-negotiable things you have to pay.
Got it. And variable expenses?
Those fluctuate. They change month to month. Think groceries, gas for your car, utility bills sometimes.
And crucially, that discretionary spending we talked about.
Exactly. That's a key type of variable expense. Money spent on non-essentials. The wants rather than the needs.
Yeah.
Going to the movies, buying clothes you don't strictly need, those coffees.
And being able to label them helps, doesn't it? Saying my rent is fixed versus my entertainment spending is discretionary.
Hugely. because the discretionary pile is usually where you have the most flexibility to cut back if you need to save more.
The sources gave a specific example. My rent is $500, clearly a fixed necessary expense.
Right. Non-discretionary. You need a roof over your head.
Okay, so income, expenses, fixed and variable discretionary. What's pillar 3?
Savings. The money you deliberately set aside, the money you keep.
And this isn't just what's left over.
Ideally, no. Good financial advice often suggests treating savings like a bill you have to pay to yourself. It should be an intentional allocation, not an afterthought.
That's where future goals come in, but also security.
Yes. Before saving for fun stuff, there's the emergency fund. Building a buffer for unexpected things, a job loss, a medical bill, car trouble. That's often the first savings goal.
So you might say, I save $50 a month for emergencies, before you say, I save $50 for a vacation.
Exactly. Resilience first, then rewards. But the point is, you allocate it. I save X amount every month for Y purpose.
Okay, the sources use a simple example budget. $1,000 income, $800 expenses, leaving $200 savings. Why is that considered simple and healthy?
Well, it hits the key points. It's simple, clear numbers. It's healthy because income is greater than expenses. There's a positive cash flow. And critically, there's an allocated amount for savings, $200.
So living within your means and actively planning for the future.
That's the model, yeah. Income minus expenses equals a positive number, and part of that positive number is deliberately saved.
And the great thing is, you, the listener, can use these simple budget sentences right now.
Totally. Sit down tonight. My income is X. My fixed expenses, like rent, are Y. My variable spending on Z feels too high. You're immediately applying the language to your own situation.
Building that confidence by making it real and personal.
That's the goal. But, making a plan is one thing. Sticking to it requires habits, which takes us to section 4, real-world money habits and tracking.
Right, because big changes often start with noticing small patterns.
Absolutely. The source material has some great little stories about this, real examples of how small behavior shifts led to significant savings. The first one was the lunch habit.
Ah, yes, the classic buying lunch at work dilemma.
Exactly. The story was about someone switching from buying lunch every day, convenient but maybe $15 a pop, to making their own food at home for maybe $5 in ingredients.
So saving $10 a day, just like that.
And over a month, say 20 workdays, that's $200 saved from one single habit change.
Wow. And the story added that the person actually found cooking fun.
Yeah, which is a great point. Saving money doesn't always have to feel like painful sacrifice. Sometimes you replace an expensive habit with one you actually enjoy more.
So how do you find those habits, those areas where money is leaking away?
The key tool mentioned was the power of tracking, specifically the idea of keeping a little notebook or maybe an app and writing down everything you spend, every single coffee, every snack.
Okay, gotta ask though, tracking every penny. Isn't that super tedious? Do people actually stick with that long term?
That's a really fair question.
Hmm.
And maybe tracking forever isn't the goal for everyone. Think of it more like a short-term diagnostic tool.
A way to see what's really happening.
Exactly. Its purpose is discovery. It reveals the leakage of all those small, seemingly harmless purchases that add up surprisingly fast.
The coffees, the snacks, the little impulse buys.
Uh-huh. You don't think much of spending $5 here or there, but when you track it and see, wow, I spent $150 on coffee last month, that total can be shocking.
And that shock is the motivator.
Often, yes. Seeing the actual total of the leakage makes you realize, hey, that's real money. What else could I do with that? The source material linked this directly to realizing that money could be saved for something bigger, like a trip.
So tracking reveals the potential. Then you make the change, like cooking at home. And then you need the language to reinforce that positive change.
Right. You practice saying the sentences that describe your new reality. I'm saving money by cooking at home. Or, I'm spending less on coffee now.
It connects the action to the outcome in your mind and lets you communicate it clearly.
Solidifies the link. Action, consequence, communication. It builds confidence.
And that confidence isn't just for managing your own money. It's also crucial when money involves other people. Which leads us to section 5, the social etiquette of sharing costs.
Oh, this is a big one. Group situations, friends, cafes, restaurants. Money can get awkward fast if you don't have the right phrases.
Yeah, nobody wants confusion or weird moments when the bill arrives. Clear, polite communication is key.
Absolutely. It's about setting boundaries kindly.
So let's break down some key phrases. First, how do you suggest everyone pays their own way?
You use terms like sharing or splitting, saying, let's share the cost, or more commonly, let's split the bill, signals that everyone should contribute their portion. Usually implies an equal split.
Okay, but what if it's not equal? Say, I just had water and my friend had a 3-course meal. How do I handle splitting that fairly without sounding cheap?
Good point. Politeness is key. You can still use split, but clarify.
Right.
Instead of just let's split it, you could say, maybe we could just pay for what we each had. Or softer, hey, I only have this salad. Do you mind if I just cover that?
The focus on fairness. Keep the tone friendly.
Exactly. Preserve the relationship while being clear about the money.
Okay, what about the opposite? When someone wants to pay for others.
That's the gesture of treating. The magic phrase is, it's my treat or my treat.
Meaning?
I'll pay for you, or I'll pay for everyone. It's a specific idiom signaling generosity. Maybe it's a celebration, a thank you, or just a kind gesture.
Understanding that one is important, both when saying it and hearing it.
Definitely. It takes the financial calculation out of that specific moment.
And what about keeping things fair over the long run between friends who often go out together?
That's where taking turns comes in, keeping a kind of informal balance.
Using phrases like,
I'll get this one, or I'll pay this time, and often followed by the implied or stated agreement, next time, it's your turn.
so it establishes a pattern of reciprocity and makes sure one person isn't always paying.
Exactly. It maintains the social balance over time. Friendly and fair.
Mastering these phrases seems really empowering. It lets you handle that potentially awkward moment when the check comes with confidence and grace.
Totally. You sound clear, polite, and you manage the financial side without damaging the social side.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground on the language of money. Let's do a quick final recap of the key takeaways.
Sounds good. So foundation first, the essential vocabulary, knowing cash versus card.
Understanding the nuance between price, the tag, and cost, the bigger picture.
Using cheap and expensive to describe value relative to you.
And recognizing save as an intentional act of planning.
Then we move to habits and goals, using I spend too much on to identify those leaks.
And I'm trying to save for, to give your saving a clear purpose, a motivation.
Then the structure of planning,
Yeah.
the budget, understanding its 3 pillars.
Income, what comes in, expenses, what goes out, broken into fixed, variable, discretionary.
And intentional savings, starting ideally with that emergency fund.
And finally, the social side. Knowing how to politely split the bill, when to say, it's my treat, and how to handle taking turns.
The big idea through all of this,
Yeah.
using this clear, specific language, helps you understand your money better.
And therefore control it better. It shifts you from just reacting to your finances to proactively managing them. English becomes your tool for building financial well-being.
Exactly.
So let's leave you with a final thought. We talked about tracking those small daily expenses, the coffees, the snacks, and realizing maybe you're leaking $100, maybe $200 a month.
Money you didn't even realize you were spending. That could be saved for a trip or a gadget.
Right. But let's push that further. What if you consistently saved that extra $200 every single month for a year? That's what, $2,400?
A significant chunk of change.
What could that accumulated saving enable, beyond just buying something nice? Could that $2,400 be seed money for learning a new skill, maybe part of a down payment, or capital to start a tiny side business?
Or maybe just a financial cushion you need to feel confident enough to make a career change you've been dreaming about.
Exactly. Think bigger. Visualize what that consistent, controlled saving enabled by clear language and tracking could unlock for you. Let that potential fuel your practice.
Speak clearly, track honestly, and save wisely.
Until the next deep dive, take care.
Take care.